Hey, today we're talking about my 2024 favorites. I think I'm gonna mostly include makeup here, but there's some like miscellaneous like body, skincare and stuff in here as well. Recently, my skin has been doing this weird thing, like it's breaking out everywhere, blackheads everywhere, and today's lighting is actually pretty good to show the skin texture. So if you're like, looking at all of the bumps on my skin, that's the breakout that's happening recently. I literally don't know what's happening. Could be because it was my period, but it never does something like this. But anyway, let's get to the makeup. And another thing, can you tell I'm cold? It's pretty cold in Japan right now. So let's start with sunscreen. Actually, this year I tried a lot of new Korean sunscreen. They are all pretty good, and I got a video of me trying a lot of Korean very viral sunscreen, and it has the very viral Beauty of Joseon one, like Round Lab and stuff, like what other people use. And actually I loved most of the sunscreen in that video, so if you're interested you could go and watch that. But I think out of everything, my favorite would be this one. It's the Green Tangerine Vita C Dark Spot Care Sun Serum. This one is like vitamin C and sunscreen in one. So when I'm like running late in the morning and I still want some vitamin C, I use this, and it's like pretty much clear. Like you can see in the clip, the liquid is pretty much just yellowy clear type of color. So if you are, you have like darker skin tone and you really worried about your sunscreen having some white cast, I think this is a good one to try, because there's no way that this is gonna have white cast on anybody because it's clear. And I love this one. It's not that expensive as well, at least to purchase in Japan. I think this is under $20, like it's probably around $15, somewhere there. For foundation, I have two. Oh, like there's another thing. I didn't put cap on each category, so there may be more than one, but I also don't put a limit, like a minimum limit as well. So if I don't have anything new to talk about, then that category is 0. So for foundation, I have two. This one is the Tokyo Lift Glow, the foundation Lift Glow, and I have shade 007 for my light medium warm olive skin tone. This color is actually pretty spot on, especially in the winter, because I found my SUQQU foundations in 025 to be a little bit too orange and dark, but this one matches pretty perfectly. I love this foundation because how balanced it is, because a lot of times like foundation is like either this side or this side. It's like super matte or super glowy, and this one is just in the middle of everything. It's not too liquidy, also it's not like thick. It's not too high coverage, but it's also not sheer. It's like a buildable light medium coverage, and it also doesn't emphasize my skin texture. That's like a big thing. It doesn't settle into my pores either, and it doesn't really pick the way you apply it. It doesn't like require a certain way you apply it, so it's like very easy to get used to. And also in the winter, this winter I literally don't know what's happening with my skin, because I thought I had like normal skin, just a little bit combo in the T-zone. That's how my skin was for the past several years, but this year, especially in the winter, it's been both super oily and super dry at the same time. So If I use something super glowy and hydrating, it's literally gonna melt off my face because my skin is still oily. But if I use something super matte or like super heavy, it doesn't look right either because my skin is dry, right? So this is right in the middle. It doesn't really clean on any texture, like I said, so it's not looking heavy. At the same time, it's not like super dewy. It's like a nice satin finish, not matte at all. So it's like the mattest a glowy foundation can be, if that makes sense. Like all of the spectrum of a glowy foundation can be, this is on the lowest of that one, but it's not matte. So it's just like a natural finish, which I really like. So it's like really balanced in the way that it's not drying, but it's not like looking oily either. And I really love that, and I need that balance. Like a foundation that's too extreme on one side, my skin just can't handle it. I need balance, and this is very well the balance that I need. And this Tirtir foundation, I think this year probably maybe half of the like you beauty gurus whatever is gonna talk about this, and I think I am influenced by them as well. This foundation has been super popular for years actually, and I have been finding this in every store in Japan for like a couple years. And I didn't pay attention to it that much because for the past couple years I didn't really catch on the Asian beauty trend that much, even though I live in Japan. I pretty much am like more on the Western trends for the past years, so I didn't really care about this, even though this been like the top selling foundation in Japan for like years. But this year I was influenced by the Western influencers, and I picked this up and tried it. It's actually really, really good. It's like a very matte foundation, but it's not too matte. I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it's another very balanced foundation, even though it's quite matte and full coverage. I can't explain it because it's not like matte in a way, it's like a mask on your skin that block everything. If you know what I mean, when sometimes you use a very heavy foundation, you almost feel like that foundation must have some sun block type of function to it, because it's like how blocking it feels. But this is not. It still has some level of like translucency to it. I don't know if that's the right word, but it just your skin doesn't feel like so fake, even though you're wearing foundation, because it's again very full coverage, but again it doesn't look too masky. Like it's still kind of natural. It's like as balanced as a matte full coverage foundation could be. It's more matte than this one. This one is still a touch glowy. This one is not glowy, but it's not drying either. I don't know how I can explain more. And they extend their foundation range so much. I think they now have more than 30 foundation shades, maybe even 40, I don't know. And the only thing that I don't really like is you really have to know, like to use several times to know the proper amount for you. Because for me it really took a couple times for me to get hand of it, like to know how much I need to use. Because when it can get heavy, it gets really, really heavy. So you really have to work. But yeah, like try several times to see what's the proper amount that you should use. That's enough coverage, but not heavy, right? Like sometimes, even right now, I still sometimes mess it up and use too much. So yeah, that's one thing that I would emphasize on this. If it's like how easy to use it, I think this one is a little bit easier. Oh, I left one out. This lip balm, I should include it in the skincare section, but whatever. This is from Can Make and it's their Mellow Dew Lip Mask. I really like this thing because it has, first of all, like the formulas aside, this packaging is actually very functioning. It has this little stopper and there's a little spatula on top, so it's very clean and you don't lose the spatula. And the actual formula, I think it's just right. When it's first applied on your lip, it feels a little bit too heavy, but it's because it's not melted yet, so you wait a little bit for it to warm up. It just becomes this very thick protective layer on your lips that's like very moisturizing, and I love to use this at night because it's very thick, so it feels secured, you know, you're secured for the night. And it's not very sticky either. I don't really care if it's sticky, you know, unless it's like uncomfortable level. But this is not sticky. It's very comfortable to wear, and it's affordable, and it's, you know, very clean. Like the whole concept of it, you can use it in a very hygienic way. So yeah, I really love this one. Blush. I think this whole year I've been only using this little palette. Is RMS Beauty Lip to Cheek Glow Quad. And I think I use this so much because this is in my project pan. But I really fall in love in this one shade. It's the shade that's been super popular in the social media for the past like a couple months, because the owner probably said that in the Victoria shows, like for the makeup artist to do the model's makeup, they have to look very healthy and they're using red blush. And I happened to have this at the time and I started to use this. To my surprise, this is very good. And you know, you can see I'm heating pan. I'm almost done with this, which thank God, because it starts to smell weird. So if you are going to purchase anything from this brand, you just have to keep in mind it's gonna be off pretty quick. This is 9 months of shelf life after you open it. This is, well, more than that. This is, I think, at least 2 years. So thank God I am almost done with it. And I think if I'm not done by the end of the year, it's just gonna be it, because it really starting to smell weird. But this red blush really look very natural. I don't know if you can tell. But I really love this one, and it's way stiffer of a formula than all of the colors in this palette, which I think is probably intentional, because if this is too, you know, too loose, you're gonna get too much product on your brush too easily, and it's gonna be like too much of a mess, right? But this, because it's a stiffer formula, I feel like I can get the right amount on my brush every time without being too careful. I could just like swirl my brush for a couple times and it's the nice amount. So I think it's very intentional, and it doesn't really have a very white base. So I think this could also work on a wide range of skin tone. So yeah, this is a good one. I actually, if I don't have this big of a makeup collection, I wouldn't mind to repurchase this red shade in a full size. But for now, I'm not gonna. I have too much going on in my collection right now. And to my surprise, I actually have a new eyebrow favorite. It's actually, this formula has existed in probably decades even. It's the SUQQU hard formula. What? Hard formula hard? Hard formula hard 9. Seal brown. This is their, again, eyebrow pencil. It's sharpened in this unique shape, and at least in Asia, if you use this up, you know, the whole tip up, and you to the point that you need to sharpen it, you can bring this to the counter and they sharpen that to this shape for you, because this shape is very unique and it's very easy to use. I really love this. I think I purchased this in September and I have been using this every single day. For me, this is more like an eyebrow powder but in a pencil shape. So I don't really have to take my brush, take my powder, like dig my brush in the powder. It's not a big issue, but it's just way easier to put up like a pen, so I can just do this, you know. And it's, I don't know, I don't really like very pigmented eyebrow pencils. I think it's just too hard to control and too harsh. And this thing just look like a powder. Eyebrow powder is just the right thing for me. So if you're like me, you like the look of like eyebrow powder, but you don't really like the process of, you know, taking a brush and stuff, this is actually very good. And I think this little pencil can last me years because it's been 3 months. The original tip they sharpened, you know, they, you know, come with when you're freshly bought it off the counter. I still haven't used it up. I think give 2 or 3 months more, I might take this to the counter and let them help me to, you know, sharpen this. But I think for now I'm good for at least another 2 to 3 months. I really think this little pencil could maybe last you 4 or 5 years for everyday usage. And that's another reason why I don't really use normal eyebrow pencils, because you're going through them too quickly. I feel like you could easily pay $100 a year just for eyebrow pencils, and it's not even a very expensive brand, maybe like a $10 pencil, and it can cost you like $100 a year. I don't want to spend $100 every year to repurchase just eyebrow products. So yeah, this is, even though SUQQU is not a cheap brand, I do think this pencil is worth the price. Okay, for eyeshadows, I actually really loved single eyeshadow this year because I don't do anything that like groundbreaking anymore. I feel like the trend has really influenced me, because before it was all about like palettes, big palettes, and this year I don't think I purchased any super big palettes. If anything, it's probably some like palettes from Korean brands, and it's like, even though they has like a lot of shades, but it's like in a small palette. But the thing I use the most is like single eyeshadows. I really like this Jose single eyeshadows. I really want every single color. But their shimmer and glitter shades are very good. It's so intense and so pigmented, just one little swipe. And I'm wearing the shade D13, and it's this bronzy taupey shade that you can easily sheer it out. And can you see how intense this is? It's like kind of insane how pigmented this is. And I layered another single eyeshadow, which is another like favorite of mine. I love to put a cream highlighter down in the center as a base and layer a small particle glitter like this one. This is from Judido, and it's a very fine glitter. Like you can barely see the particle, right? But it's like a glitter. And then I layer something super intense on top, like this one. It's the D127. Like, see this? This is like foil level, right? And I'm not even trying hard to get these swatches. It's just super nice, like high quality products. And yeah, I love these. There's not much to say, like, other than I think for eyeshadows it's literally Is it the level of finish you want? Does it blend well? It's just these two things. It's a level of finish that I want and it blends well. This is just all I am gonna say. And for this one, you can even see I have a dent in it, which is pretty weird because considering this is a glittery eyeshadow and I only purchased this like past the, you know, it's not even in the first half of the year, it's in the in the second half of the year. Okay, and for blush, I have another one. It's this SUQQU blurring color blush in the shade 01. And in the application footage, I think you can see this how like not blurry, because it's not like really, how to say, like a blurry setting powder type of thing, but it really doesn't emphasize your texture and it blends so effortlessly. It's actually a pretty powdery formula. If you put your blush in it, it has some level of kickoff. So you're gonna think it must be chunky, but once you apply it on your face, it's actually so effortless. It doesn't really need much blending either. So even though I've very much been focused on to finish up this palette, so I didn't get to use this that much, but that's not because I don't want to, you know, because I was focused on the project pan. But this is really my top favorite powder blush for this year, and I specifically love this color for my skin tone. It's a very, very natural peachy pink color that just looks like a natural, very healthy flush on my face. I love it. And for my lips, I feel like this year I'm just been discovering new things and I'm just using it every day and like not rotating much. So this is just my combo, my lip combo for like probably the past 3 months. For almost every day, I put down this Pamagrath lip pencil in the shade Contour. I don't really use this one that much. It's just under my lips and on the side of my topper lip to sculpt the shape of my lips a little bit. I don't really like to take a lip pencil and just, you know, fill in my whole lips. I don't really do that. And I think this color is just the right color for me to sculpt my lip shade. I really love this one. And for me, the lip combo, it has 3 parts. It's the shape, which is the lip pencil, and there's the color, and then there is the texture. So for color, I really I really like this Romand Beautiful lip tint, Beautiful water tint in the shade 12. This one is really not for use on its own, in my opinion, because it doesn't really add much shine or texture. It basically just change the color of your lips. So if you really want that type of very natural look, I think this formula is very great. It's like almost watery formula. Where do I? Here. Like it's a watery gel type of very thin formula. And it really just puts down color. It doesn't have much shine, but it's also not matte either. It's just, you know, there's not much body to it. It's just like a very thin gel that puts down a right amount of color. And I just want that because I want to layer something on top. So that thing only give me color, it's just what I want. And for the lip gloss, this I purchased in September probably, and now I think I barely have anything left because I've been using it every day. So this one, I really don't think this is something you use on its own, especially this color 11, tint plumping. This is one of those pH changing products, and if you apply this one on its own, it's gonna turn into this very ugly pink. I don't like this color on its own, but layering on top of another color, it just gives it like a certain amount of life and freshness. I really love to layer this. And also for the texture, it's very thick, very thick, so it's long lasting. But if you don't really like thick lip products, I don't think this is for you. It's not necessarily very sticky, it's just thick. And it, even you have some lip tint, you know, don't last very long. If you layer this one on top, it's gonna last very long because this is like a top ceiling layer almost, and it make everything look very glossy. And it also has like this a little bit cooling sensation. I don't really think it plump your lip that much, but yeah, it's good to have just a little bit effect. It's not painful. And I also don't know how, you know, if you should use this just on its own, because if your lip is very cracked, like a super dry skins everywhere, I almost feel like this is gonna be too thick because it's already thick, and if your lips is sucking moisture out of it because it's too dry, it's gonna be even more thick, and it just gonna feel heavy and a little bit sticky. But if you just layer this one on something else and give your lip combo a little bit more shine, it's actually like very comfortable to wear. So I really love this one. I think this is for like a very specific usage. So, you know, you have to consider how you want to use your lip product if you're considering this one. Okay, I have to be very quick because the sun is already going down. But we are at our last two makeup products, and we only have a couple other miscellaneous stuff. So the last thing is setting sprays. This one is the Kose Make Keep Mist EX. This is just a very easy to use setting spray. The mist is very fine. It's not like making your makeup like bulletproof or something. It's just make your makeup still wears off, but it wears off very like gradually. Like it doesn't wear off ugly, and it does overall make your makeup wears longer. Just again, it's not like anything super hardcore like hairspray level of like staying power. It's just like, you know, make everything a little bit more wears off more gracefully. And I really like that. I find my makeup doesn't break up and, you know, move around as much. But again, it still wears off, just, you know, more slower. And it's very comfortable to use because sometimes I feel like some setting spray really feels like hairspray on your skin. Like you can feel a layer of stuff on your skin after it's dried. But this one, no, it just feels like it's like nothing after it's dried, which I think is the way it should be, right? And I also sometimes find if I apply too much powder, this just refresh my skin without making it glowy, because some setting spray make your skin glowy and then you have to apply more powder, and I think it's kind of defeats the purpose. And this one, I think it just overall like a very easy to use setting spray for the days that you want your makeup to last a little longer, but also not like, you know, going too hard for it. And I think I used up a whole bottle, and this is another bottle halfway, so you know I really loved this one. And there's this Tirtir Mask Fit Makeup Fixer, and this is, I think this is just a stronger version of this one. This does make your makeup last a lot longer, and I feel like this is a little bit more matte, even though that one doesn't really change your skin finish that much. But this one is, I don't know, it's like a very subtle difference. I just feel like whenever I use this one, my skin is like a little bit matter after it's dried, and makes the spray, the nozzle, It's not as fine as the Kose one, but it's acceptable. It's like more higher efficiency to drench your whole face. It's not like people like spitting at you. It's not like that. It's just the droplets is very even, but it's bigger. So I might feel like I need 10 spray of that one, but this one I might just need like 3. You know what I mean? So again, it's not like the greatest sprayer, but it's not bad. It's acceptable for me, and I don't use this one as often as that one, but I do use it sometimes, especially in the summer. Okay, that's all of the makeup. Now it's, you know, every other category. For skincare, I feel like I am very specific, but at the same time, I'm not very picky. I'm specific in a way that I want this type of product. Like, let's say I want a moisturizer that's not too oily, that's not too light. I want it to be like a barrier type of thing. Then every single face cream that fits in that category I could be happy with. So it's hard to find like a favorite. For me, it really like, if it fits into that category, I don't really care what I use. So I don't really have a lot of skincare favorite, because a lot of things I feel like it's great. I don't think it's like a favorite, but I'm happy to use it. But these are the ones that I really liked. First of all, it's not this bottle. I'm gonna show the actual bottle. This is eyelash serum, to be short. The brand is Majorica and Majorica. It's a Japanese brand. The version I'm gonna refer to is the cheaper version of this. The cheaper version is not even $10, and this is third of the price. But essentially, I find them to do the same thing. My eyelash fall off a lot. It sheds a lot. I really don't have that much eyelash, but I just found that the cheaper one make my eyelash way stronger than it is. Like, it rarely sheds anymore. Like, I don't see random eyelash hairs everywhere in my house, and I don't have to be like do this to take off the eyelash that already shed, so that it doesn't get into my eye and it hurts. That's like a very common experience for me before. But after I used the cheaper one for 3 months, I find that totally just stopped. Like, my eyelashes like very healthy and don't shed right now. And it also grow like a certain like amount longer. It's just longer enough for me to notice that it's not just in my head. It really grows longer, but it's not long enough. It's like a crazy effect at all. It's just, I feel like it just overall maybe gives some nutrition for your eyelash, so it becomes stronger and it grow a little bit longer, and it's like very sturdy right now. It doesn't really fall off that much. And why I don't prefer this one is because I transferred to this one, because when I finished the last one, I thought, oh, if the cheaper version works this good, then the 3 times of the price version must work even better. But I don't find the result has been that much more. Like, it basically using this for another 3 months just make the results keep lasting. It's just maintaining. So if it only maintains and it doesn't bring much more benefit, why just buy the cheaper version, right? So I already repurchased the cheaper ones, and I think I won't repurchase this one. So I'm just talking about the cheaper one here. And I don't really like to spend a lot of money on the like eyelash serum. I don't really care to have like super long eyelash. Like, if I have it, it's nice, but I don't really want to spend $100 on a eyelash serum to just grow some eyelash. So this is just enough for me. Make my eyelash strong enough that it doesn't just randomly shed everywhere. Another is this Retinol Intense Advanced Triple Action Eye Cream. I really like this eye cream. It's like very easy to absorb. It's not heavy and it's pretty gentle. There's nothing else to say because I really want retinol, some sort of stuff that's like I can use around my eye, and this is really like the type of formula that I want. It's like kind of a thinner, looser like cream, and it really is like very easy to rub it in, as you can see. And yeah, I just love this. I think before this I loved one from a Japanese brand. It's the brand called Elixir, and that one is much more expensive, and I find the formula itself just feels exactly the same. So I'm thinking maybe they just exactly the same formula, even though this is a Korean brand. It's brand some by I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, it's this one. I really been loving this, and this oil I actually been loving for years, and this is the Clarins Santal Treatment Oil, 100% plant extracts, dry skin. So this is like the richest face oil you're gonna ever find. So if you don't really like very rich face oils, I don't think this is like what you want, but I really love this one. It's like more nourishing than any oil that I ever use. So for this winter, when the weather is super dry and my skin is super dry as well, it's really been saving me because my skin was peeling before, and after I used this, the peeling at least stopped. And I have been using this for years actually. It just recently I picked up it again, and this one has like a very strong herb type scent. So if you don't like that, I don't think you're gonna like this scent. But the scent aside, I really like this. It doesn't even feel oily. It just feels super rich. And I follow up with some like hydrating essence on top of the oil, which you might find to be a weird way to use oil, like layer beneath some like serum. But believe me, try it. It's gonna make your face oil like feel way more pleasant to use on your face. It's actually really good to use it that way. And another two are all body related. This is a retinol body cream. Can you tell I'm obsessed with retinol? This is the Advanced Clinicals for Salon Professionals, and this is the Spa Size Retinol Advanced Firming Cream. This is such a great body lotion. If you want, retinol from head to toe, I think this is a great option because it's not expensive at all. I think on iHerb, it's probably around like $10 to $15, depending on if you buy it during sales season or not. And it's like 400 gram or something. One of this thing can last me for like a month, and it's not even expensive. And the texture is like very light, and it's not sticky, but it has some sort of texture, like moisture, so it's enough for me. The only thing I don't really like is after you're at like this level, this much left, the pump stopped working. So you have to open this. They purposefully designed it in this way so you can like easily open this lid and dig your finger in to use up the rest. But I just feel like, why stop here? Like it's still so far from like using up. So every time I'm at this level, it just feels like a torture every day digging my finger into such a deep jar. So I just feel like the feature is nice, but they could be at least, at the very bottom, that the the pump cannot get any deeper and you have to use your finger. But it's like, I think it's just this thing is not long enough. It's only at this level. So that's why, therefore, the products lower than that, you cannot reach it without opening the whole jar. But yeah, that's just a minor thing. I'm still gonna use this. I think this big tub I've already used up like a 2 or 3. And another body cream. This is again for the winter. This is very, very rich. This is the Country and Stream Honey Body Cream. This is a cream, not cream, Japanese brand, and it's very, very affordable. I think this big tube, which is 200 grams, is probably like $6 or something. And it's like a very rich cream that's not sticky. And it really smells like honey. And I love the smell. It's like smells very, very sweet and pleasant. I really like the smell of honey. And I've been using this brand's lip like treatment, which is a very thin formula, and that one is very nice as well. And I also really like their hand cream, so I purchased their body cream and it works very well as well. And that's all I have for the year 2024. I hope you enjoyed this video. I think I might even do another like the worst of 2024, because I definitely have something that I want to talk about. There's a lot of products that piss me off in this year. So yeah, if you have any favorites this year, no matter like what category it is, it doesn't really have to be beauty, anything. Feel free to share in the comments. And it's been so dark outside, like it's fully dark, and I'm actually quite surprised that this camera is still capturing it like as if it's in daylight. But yeah, it's very dark outside right now. So I'm just gonna stop here. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.